What's up, LTD addicts? Let's talk about online reviews. Now, I know that before I buy anything or hire anyone, I definitely go online to see what other people are saying. And I also know I'm not alone because according to Fan and Fuel, 94% of online customers read reviews before making any purchasing decisions, and 97% of consumers use reviews to search for local services, according to Bright Local. So it doesn't matter if you're buying online, someplace like Amazon.com, or if you're hiring a handyman to come to your house to fix a broken pipe, you're probably going to look online for reviews. And you know what? Your customers are no different. They're going to be researching your business as well. So if you don't have any online reviews, you better get some. And if you have some, you better get more so that you can stay ahead of your competition. Well, that's what this video is all about. I'm going to be looking at a tool called Starfish Reviews. That is a WordPress-based plugin to help you get more reviews. Let's head on over to their deal page right now. So here it is, the #1 WordPress review generation plugin. Now, to be fair, I can't think of any other WordPress review generation plugins, but that does make them #1. Now, this lifetime deal is going to be going on for the next 11 days. This is a Black Friday deal, so it's not going to get any better than this. And actually, they don't have a lifetime deal on their regular website. So this may be a one-time shot. I don't know that it'll be coming back or not. So here we go. These are the lifetime plans. Now, these tie directly to their annual plan. So there's the business, the marketer, and the webmaster plan. Basically, what you're looking at here is 1 site, 10 sites, and 100 sites. There are some other stipulations I'm going to talk about here, though. You get 5 funnels on the business plan, 10 funnels on the marketer plan, and unlimited funnels on the webmaster plan. That is per site. Now, you might be saying, what is a funnel? I thought we were talking about reviews. What does that even mean? Now, the way Starfish Reviews works is it sends your customers through a funnel, but rather than trying to make a sale, it's trying to filter out the positive experiences from the negative experiences so that you only ask people who had a good experience with your business to leave you a review online. You might want to create a unique funnel for each product or service that you offer, and that's where that number is important. So let's say you're a digital agency and you do PPC, SEO, and website design. Well, that'd be 3 funnels you might want to build out. So you'd be probably fine with the business plan. Now, there are some other stipulations that I mentioned in that there's some additional features coming up. So one that comes to mind is white label. As LTD addicts, we always love white label deals. And of course, that means that you're able to strip the branding away from the plugin and make it look like you created the plugin yourself so that when you resell it for SEO services, it looks like you're a genius. Well, that is coming. It's only going to be coming to the webmaster plan. There are some other interesting features that are on deck. They're in alpha. Now, I don't like preaching about buying on roadmaps. That's generally not a good idea. However, it's worth knowing what the company has planned, whether they're planning to develop future features. And if you scroll down here a little bit, it actually talks about this. There is going to be a import and display feature coming soon, which is going to allow you to import your existing reviews from review sites and then display them on your website. So as is right now, this is all about getting new reviews, not showing them off on your website. So very clear distinction there. All right, enough talk. Let's get into it. I've got a demo site set up already. This is what the review funnel will look like. Now, everything here is customizable. So the text I can change, the images I can change, and of course I can remove this powered by branding. That is not part of the white label feature. I actually had to check a box to turn that on because I wanted to show you what it looks like. So the idea here is you can take a short code and embed this anywhere on your website, or you could send people directly to this page. Something that comes to mind is AppSumo, right? So I make a purchase on AppSumo. What happens 24 hours later? Well, they send me an email and say, tell me how you really feel, or tell us how you really feel. Of course, they're asking for my review. They could include a link to a WordPress page that has the Starfish Reviews widget embedded, and that would take me through kind of this screening process before they ask me to leave a public review. All right, so would you recommend this, yes or no? If I choose yes, it says, great, why don't you leave us a review on one of these sites? These are the sites where we're gathering reviews. If I said no, here's what happens. Says, sorry, we didn't meet your expectations. How can we do better in the future? Ask you to leave some comments. And then you have the option to include your name, email address, and phone number. Now, those are off by default. I had to turn them on to show you what they look like here. And then there's the send feedback button. Above that is another feature I turned on, which is the skip this feedback and leave a public review. You might be wondering, like, if we're setting up a funnel like this, why would I want to skip this feedback and leave a public review? Well, the idea here is that some sites like Google don't like it when you filter out reviews like this. So in order to avoid being penalized, you have to give people at least the opportunity to find out where you're linked online so they can leave a review. It might be a good idea to leave that on if you're gathering reviews for sites that, measure that. All right, let's hop into the WordPress backend and we'll see what happens after someone leaves some feedback. So let's go under Starfish Reviews and choose all feedback. Now here I'm going to see all of the feedback that's been left. It's got a timestamp to show me when it was left. I'll be able to see the reviewer's name, like down here, I entered my name and email address. I can see whether the review was positive or negative, if I left a message, and what funnel it went through, and whether or not I clicked off to go to one of the review sites. Like here, I clicked on the google.com button. All right, so that is where you see all of your feedback in kind of a mass dump view. There's also a reporting section, which I'll show you down here at the bottom, where you just kind of get an overview of, how many people have left feedback, how much is positive, how much is negative, and where are they going to leave reviews. So in this case, it's 100% Google. We can sort this by month, and you can also sort it by funnel. All right, so let's look at funnels now because I've been talking about them. The one we just saw was the client temp demo. That was the front of the page with the thumbs up and the thumbs down. All right, so if we wanted to make a new funnel, I'll click on Add New and I'll type in that LTD life. Now, this is very simple to set up a new funnel. It just says, would you recommend site name? So I could replace this with anything I like. In fact, I could replace all of this text if I like. But for now, I'm just going to say, would you recommend that LTD life? And I have a thumbs up, thumbs down. Of course, I can change this. Now, the way WordPress works is it's not going to update until this isn't a Starfish Reviews thing. This is a WordPress thing. So I actually need to save a draft here. And then I can go ahead and change the icons. You can see here, thumbs outline, thumbs solid, faces, and symbols. All right, so I can choose which one I like. I'm going to go with faces. And then we have the Starfish funnel short code right here, so I can embed this on any page of my website that I like. And from this main funnel page, we're going to go to either the positive page or the negative page. And then we have the copy here that we can modify for the positive. We have the copy that we can modify for the negative. Now, there are some other options we should talk about, and that is right here where it says number of destinations. By default, it is set to be a single destination. You could just type in your review URL right here. So if you're, let's say, seeking reviews for your podcast, you put in your podcast page on the iTunes music store here, or whatever they call it these days. Maybe you have an Amazon product. You can link directly to your Amazon product right there. So I don't actually recommend doing that, even if you only want to gather reviews in a single location. I would still change the destinations over here to multiple. And then I have the option to choose an icon, right? And that's going to be a lot better looking. So I could choose the Amazon icon, and I can actually change the color of the icon and the background right here. If you want to upload your own custom, maybe you're not going to one of these sites, or you just want to have the Amazon icon with the right colors and everything, you can click right here and upload a item from the WordPress media library. So that is totally doable. Again, these options are only available if you choose multiple. Now, I don't have to add multiple. It just gives me a little bit more full-featured approach. So I kind of think they should do away with this altogether and just make this be the only option. And then if I want to add a new one, I just hit the plus button. All right, so let me go ahead and just fill this out because I know I can't go further until I enter in some data here. Let's go ahead and change this Google color to 1234. This will be a blue color, and I'll change the background to be white. There we go. I've got it all filled out. Now moving on to the next section, the negative response is right here. This is the copy. There's actually a place to change all of the default text, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then we can toggle on those other fields we talked about, the name, the email address, and the phone, and I can choose whether they're required or not. Now, my personal point of view on this would be, if you're going to ask for someone's name and email address, definitely indicate whether it's optional or not, and probably suggest to them that, hey, we'd really like to make things right for you. Leave us your name and email address and we'll follow up with you, or leave us your name and phone number and someone will call you and, help resolve this situation, because this is only going to display to people who had a negative experience with your business. All right. So that being said, we've got a few more options to address. There is this disable review gating down here. And if I turn that on, that's where we saw that button that showed up right here, or that I guess it's just a text link, I'd like to skip this feedback and leave a public review. So that's where we can turn that on, is just by checking that box right here. There's also the page that shows up afterwards. There's a little bit of text you can customize, leave a public review. So maybe you're only gathering reviews on Facebook. You could say, leave us a review on Facebook, show the Facebook logo, and then you wouldn't need to necessarily put Facebook underneath the text right here. So that's pretty much it for how you set up a funnel. You can see you could do this in maybe 60 seconds. Like, that's not pushing it. That's probably kind of doing it leisurely. If you weren't sure of the review sites and you had to Google them, it might take you 3 or 4 minutes, but it's pretty quick to get going. And that's, I think, the main feature for Starfish Reviews. All right, let's move on. There's some settings here that we can customize. In the general settings, we can customize the slug. By default, it's set up to funnels. I changed it to reviews just to have some fun with it. Here we can turn off the branding, and I want to remind you this is turned off by default. So I check that box, no more branding. If I leave it on, leave the branding on by checking the box off, I can insert my affiliate URL so that if someone clicks on that, powered by Starfish Reviews, I can earn a little bit of money. So there's that option right here. Of course, you need to sign up for the affiliate program. And then we have this button to clear on deactivation. Now what that's going to do is, let's say you want to nuke everything. You've been doing some testing like I have, and I want to get some fresh data. So I could turn this on, check this box, deactivate the plugin, and when I reactivate it, everything will be zeroed out. So it's a good kind of way to get going, figure out how the program's going to work, and then start clean when you actually start collecting real reviews. Up here in the email tab, this is just going to be the default address and name for emails that are being sent. Now, remember that these emails are actually going to go to you. So it's not, you don't have to be too particular. Of course, you want to have them go from and to an email address that you actually own. So by default, it's going to be from the site name, from your admin email. This is all customizable. You can just type in the email address and the name that you want right into the field. And then it's just going to display what review was left, the contents of the review. And the feedback email that goes right here is the admin email as well. All right, so that is the email settings. The last tab is called defaults, which I think could probably be improved upon. This is where the default copy is stored, or the default text. I'm not sure exactly what to call it, but what they mean here is that preset text that we're reading. Let's say you're setting up 20 or 30 funnels. You don't have to change that every single time to be on brand. Well, you could do it once here and then go ahead and create those funnels, and it will be reflected across each funnel as you create it. So nice little touch here, save you some time if you're doing multiple products. Definitely if you're doing an e-commerce site and you want to do a funnel for 50 different products, that will definitely save you a lot of data entry work. And that's it. That's all Starfish Reviews does. It creates these little funnels and helps you get more reviews. It's the exact opposite of everything Elton Brown looks for in kitchen equipment. It's a unitasker. But you know what? It works pretty good. If you're in the reputation management business, it could earn some money for you pretty quickly. You could deploy this across dozens of client sites without very much fuss at all. My honest reaction to this the first time I saw it was, well, why wouldn't I just do this with a form plugin? I could set up some conditional logic. It would be no problem to get the forms back and everything would be, easy to manage. But the more I thought about it is, well, it's not going to be self-contained. Then I'd have a lot more data gathering to do to create reports. It's a headache, right? So to have everything kind of siloed off in a single use type of application, I think this is going to be interesting to a lot of people. Now, if you're price sensitive, I admit $149 for a single site, that's a little bit on the high side. I'd love to see that number drop closer to $99 or maybe $79 for a single site. I think a lot of people would jump on it for that price. But if you're an agency doing SEO work, local SEO work, the bundle of 100 sites for $250, that seems like a pretty reasonable price for that particular use case. If you're just collecting shelfware, you might as well just light your money on fire. You need to actually be using this stuff. So I want to emphasize that. That said, all right, there are still some things about Starfish Reviews that I'd like to see improved. I think the reporting section, that could be beefed up a little bit, right? We've just got those two options. Now, in order to have more data to report on, I think we should have maybe some more options for customization on the front end. Rather than just having a thumbs up and a thumbs down, maybe I could have, a scale to go 1 to 5, and then I could get an average number, because there's certainly a big difference between someone who rates you a 5 out of 5 and someone who rates you a 3.5 out of 5, right? Those are both positive reviews, but definitely a level of enthusiasm. We'd want to probably nudge that 3.5 closer to ecstatic, if at all possible. It'd also be great if the comments were kind of gathered so we could have maybe a word cloud. Let's say you're getting 1,000 reviews every week for your product. Well, you might want to see, what are people talking about? Are they saying it's expensive? Are they saying it doesn't work well? Or maybe it's a restaurant and the service is slow, or the waiters were rude. We'd like to be able to see that information at a glance. So maybe a word cloud or some kind of way to say the most common expressed phrases on the review page. That would be really, really helpful. So I think there's a lot of ways that Starfish Reviews could grow. However, the basic functionality is there right now. And it's not to say that this is an original product. I've actually used other services. In fact, Bright Local was mentioned at the beginning in a quote at the beginning of this video. I've used their reputation management software, and it works very, very similarly. The one downside to that being is it's not on WordPress. It's on their server. I don't control the data. So I really like that part of Starfish Reviews. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 7.7 out of 10. I think it has a lot of potential here, although there's still just a little bit of polishing that needs to be done for it to really be an absolute slam dunk. If you like this review, make sure you click the like button so I know you appreciate the content. And if you want to grab your own copy of Starfish Review while it's still on lifetime deal, click that link in the description. That'll be our referral link for the channel here. Make sure you head over to our Facebook community. We'll be discussing Starfish Review. I think we actually got the founder. He just joined right before I started recording this video. So the founder's in there. You can ask him his questions, his plan for the future to grow this product. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next review.